All right, while we're at it, common thing, common problem, I would say, or shortcoming on any Ducati is that they put in some very thin wires for the battery and the grounding to the frame and such. I've changed these. Okay, you can buy ready-made kits on the internet, model specific. Uh, the cost is what it is, but I'm fortunate enough that in the town there's a company that is specialized in batteries and stuff like that, and I had these made up for not even €10. So I changed the negative cable where it goes attaches to the frame to much heavier gauge. Okay, and don't forget also you need to change. You can see the cable that goes to the engine. That's the negative earth between the frame and the engine. That one needs to be changed as well. You can see it's a new, much thicker cable there. When it comes to the positive leads, I haven't changed them, okay, yet. But I got nothing better to do, so I'm gonna change the positive cable that goes from the starter relay, which I'm holding here, and obviously it goes down to the starter motor attached there. Okay, you can see it's rather thin, and in those kits, the pre-made kits that you buy, you will get this as well. But having one made up is not going to cost a fortune. So I'll dismantle this and nip down to the cable shop. I've done the same on the M900, the Monster. I haven't done it on the 999, but with a lithium battery on the 999, it certainly starts very easy, and it's fuel injected, so it's a little bit different. So let's do this mod. So I start by disconnecting the positive lead on the battery, of course. Some people prefer first working on the negative lead, which, yeah, sure, it's a good idea to, if you don't have a circuit, if you have an open circuit, playing with the positive lead is totally safe. Anyway, off with a positive lead and off with a cable off the starter relay, solenoid also called, and then have to take it off the starter motor. And dear, oh dear, it doesn't look very happy. That's about 30 years of grime and wet and sand and whatnot. So, yeah, we're going to clean that up, and we're going to use dielectric grease to grease it up as well when we reassemble it. Okay, we got a problem here. 30-year-old problem. The little nut that holds the cable is absolutely fused to the bolt. The bolt is actually part of the brush assembly. Now I don't want to knacker that bolt or break it off. I've slattered it with 556 and stuff like that. I can't heat it because there's plastic parts all over the place. Otherwise, heat would have been a solution, perhaps. So, what can we do? Well, I'm going to try to use a Dremel, okay, with a cutting disc to grind off one side of the nut and see if I can do it that way. Then, of course, I have to repair the threads somehow, carefully. Otherwise, it means dismantling the whole starter motor. And for doing that, you have to drain the oil and you have to get the generator cover off, and it becomes a really big job. Okay, let's see how we go. Well, success, but you have to be very careful. So I ground down until I could barely see the thread sticking through the material, and it snapped loose, so let's dismantle. So there is the bastard. Who's your daddy now? Anyway, we'll replace it with a stainless nut and stainless washer. That's much better. Yep, threads are fine, only very slightly damaged on where I ground it off, but nothing that will create any trouble. Um, yeah, and I mean, this is a nylock nut and it's stainless, and we're going to slather it with grease as well. And that will be, well, that will last for another 30 years for sure. No problem. I won't be around, I think. Well, I might be, 95 years old at that time. Yeah, and you don't have to tighten this for king and country. It's just to make an electrical connection, really. So it's a proper result. All right, new cables fabricated at the shop. I'm doing the Monster as well because I didn't do this mod on. I did change all the negative leads, but I didn't change the one to the starter motor. So let's put them on. Okay, cable in place. It was a little bit of a struggle for various reasons, but anyway, it's there. So let's try to start it up. Before, if I turned on even the parking lights, the fuel pump would lower its RPM so you could hear it. So now there's better contact, I would say. Sure. Hardly touch the button and it starts. Right, job done. It's lovely weather today, so normally I would take the bike for a ride, but not this bike, because I went for a rather spirited little ride on Sunday, and well, 9,000 k on this rear tire, and it's done, so I've ordered a new one. So we will take the 900 instead, go for a little ride, just for fun. Okay, thank you for this time, and next thing to do will be oil service on the yellow bike. Good morning. Nice morning. Dogs are awake. Yeah, just a short note on the work I did yesterday with replacing the electrical cables on the two bikes, the Monster and the 750. The Monster, the cable from the solenoid starter relay to the starter motor was in very bad shape. I mean, it's also a 30-year-old bike. So when I looked at the cable, I saw that actually the insulation was cracked. It was totally hard and perished and cracked in places. And the last thing I think you want is to have any arcing between the frame or the engine and the cable, considering the very high starting currents that are flowing through that cable when you hit the starter button. So check your cables on old classic bikes, and please replace them if in doubt.